Here, roadtoruta.com, your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. I haven't talked about it in a while because I've been focusing on the cryptos, but here's one of the reasons why. The U.S. government and the powers that be control the price of gold and silver. 100% with computer programs written by Alan Greenspan in the 1960s and 70s and implemented when he was in the Council of Economic Advisors for Ford, and then as head of the Fed in 1987, he was appointed head of the Fed. Huge surprise at the time. Ronald Reagan appointed Alan Greenspan, the world's most notorious gold bug, as head of the Federal Reserve Bank, the world's most notorious gold hater. Everybody's like, what is going on? I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. No, Alan Greenspan did not turn to the dark side. His whole goal all along was to rig the markets long enough, soak up all the benefits of unbacked fiat money, and build roads, build bridges, build houses, facilitate what we have today, the growth of everything, and then at some point crash the system. Yes, it has gone on way longer than Alan Greenspan wanted. In the Road to Ruta COMEX, it clearly shows what Ruta writes in the sand changed from the 1981 version to the 2007 version. The 2007 version, 1981 version, had an economic formula called On the Road to the Golden Age. In that formula, it's a 1960s Nobel, it wasn't Nobel Prize winning. I think it was kind of a secret. But the guy who wrote it, Nasland, is now on the board of was on the board of who got the Nobel Prize. So it's even bigger. But that theory said that in order to go from an unbacked system to a gold-backed system, the most beneficial thing is to run the unbacked fiat monetary system as long as possible, soaking up all the benefits. In 2007, that was changed. The economic formula in the sand that Ruta writes, this is all coming from the Fed Boston, changed from that formula to 11 plus 9 or 9/11. And we all know what happened on 9/11. Behind the scenes, it was much bigger than what 19 hijackers is ridiculous. What it was, if you're interested in what it was, go to roadtoruta.com. On the left side, there's a resources tab. In that tab, there's a few reports on who did 9/11, why it was done, what was the meaning, and who got away with it, and things like that. Really interesting report. It's called Collateral Damage. And I believe it was written by the Office of Naval Intelligence that was about to bust the banking cabal. So everything changed on 9/11. And that's when Greenspan said, we gotta end the system. And then since then, obviously since after that, before and after, they've been printing money like it's going out of style, and we're getting to near the end. But during that time, it is so easy to rig the markets. They can place the price. I've said it for a long time. They can place the price of gold and silver to $0 an ounce or $1 million an ounce with a click of a mouse out of the basement of the Treasury. And today we had a good example of that. Gold flash crashes as someone dumps $2 billion fat finger blame, $2 billion in gold. Click of a mouse. Like I said a million times, click of a mouse. 1 minute after 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. See, and they do it at the weakest times. Now remember that. If you had $2 billion worth of gold and you wanted to maximize your profits, would you dump it all at one moment in the middle of the night? Or you just slowly trickle it out? It's obvious what the answer is. This was an obvious manipulation. And the CFTC, even the new guy who's in charge of it, runs cover for the people who are manipulating. 1 minute after 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, as the European market was warming up for trading, gold suddenly plunged $18 or as much as 1.6% to $1,236 an ounce before bouncing on a massive surge in volume with over 18,000 contracts, or just over $2 billion notional, trading in seconds. A total of 18,149 lots were traded on the COMEX in just a minute. Now, how is this not manipulation? It is, of course it is. Before falling back to 2,334 lots an hour later. As so often happens, the gold plunge drags silver down with it as well. They slam silver as well. It wasn't just gold. They slammed silver, and what they're trying to do is knock out all the stop losses. So they look down at the book, and J.P. Morgan and those guys have all the information on who set their stop loss limits and things like that. They slam it down, soaking up all that gold to cover their shorts, and then they get ready to move up. That's the key. Things like this happen at the very bottom of the market for the riggers to load up, because so they're going high. They're going to take this thing up very soon. So this is a great sign for the end of the downward draft in gold and silver. Believe it or not, as strange as it may sound and as painful as it may seem, these kind of slams are a great signal that the bad guys, as I call them, or even the US Treasury, if it was them that did it, it could have been, it probably was, given that it was $2 billion in a minute, are taking the price of gold higher. It's the exact opposite of what you'd think. The total gold sold amounted to 1.8 million ounces of gold in just a minute, roughly 2.2 billion notional, a level not reached even with the surprise election of U.S. President Donald Trump or Britain's vote to leave the European Union, according to Bloomberg. A better chart of the move comes courtesy of COMEX, which shows how the sudden selling soaked up all the liquidity in the gold market in seconds with clear intention of repricing gold lower. And there it is. I love the COMEX graphs. They're all colorful, and it's so easy to see where all the drama happens and who was it that dumped that $2 billion and what they get out of it, who covered. In forensic analysis of manipulation, the CFTC should have all the data. Who started this move? Was it a couple banks colluding? Most likely it usually is. So they can't say, well, I didn't do it. He did it. He did it. He did it. 2 or 3 banks colluding. Or just the US Treasury trading back and forth to itself. Crazy. Anything can happen. With no clear driver for the move, Bloomberg has suggested it may be a fat finger mistake, although many are skeptical and see either algo or central bank intervention. As the gold price was offset by the usual US dollar Japanese yen spike, which jumped as high as 0.35 yen. No one has a clue apart from the unfortunate individual that pressed the wrong button. That's such a ridiculous statement. Alan Greenspan invented computer programs, invented the electronic asset back in the 1960s with his friend John Kemeny's computer program called BASIC. Everybody remembers BASIC. That computer program model has been in the system since the 1960s and 70s with Arthur Burns and Paul Volcker. When Paul Volcker said, I should have rigged the gold price, you weren't rigging the gold price because Alan Greenspan was rigging the gold price at the time in the 70s and 80s. It's just, you got to shake your head and go, where is the reality? If anybody can click a mouse and sell 1.8 million ounces of gold, something is wrong. And I think it's all breaking down, which is great. It's a good sign. And so have a little visual of what's going on with silver. You can see that silver got slammed from about 1666, 1667, all the way down below 1650, around 1645, and then a little extra slam at the end, and then it came back up. All computer-driven, it's a click of a mouse, my friends. That's all it is. And let's look at the larger picture in silver. Nice round number. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That's how silver manipulation works. You can draw little cups and handles and all these things and entice people in and out of silver. There hasn't been a freely traded silver market probably since, 1850s, before the Opium Wars, where the UK was trying to, or England at the time, was trying to stop the flow of silver out of England. So they got the Chinese addicted to opium. And that's hence the Opium Wars, and the flow of silver went back to England because they were selling all the opium for silver to China. And it's been rigged ever since. So yeah, that's what we get to deal with. Obviously, here's the bear market, the artificial bear market right here, the 5-year silver from the highs around $50. That's the funny thing is, if you look at gold, based on its all-time highs back in 1980, which it hit $800, and now it's trading at a little above $1,200. Silver, which all-time high was $50, is now, what, 1650? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, yes, load up on physical silver. This is part of the game. But, like I said, the other part of the game is trying to get a system in place that you can use as money when the old system fails. That's always been the big problem. Who's going to press the red button and destroy the system? And we know now from the rise in the cryptocurrencies that the powers that be, the good guys as I call them, that control the system, think that if they implement some kind of cryptocurrency form of currency that the people can use, it might smooth out the transition out of the old system into something new. I think it's a great idea. I think it's brilliant. So you're not going to see the massive manipulation. You're going to see some manipulation, but more like pullbacks when it runs too fast. It's still controlled, but yeah, buy your cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is okay. Ethereum is great. Ripple is not good. Litecoin is great. If it's going to take over for the shortfalls of Bitcoin, I really like Litecoin. Ethereum Classic, not a huge fan. I like Ethereum a lot better, a lot more uses. As you can tell, the use of Ethereum is just skyrocketing. Yes, the times are getting longer and longer, but just look at the use cases. All these ICOs are going on the Ethereum platform. Lots of room to move up for Ethereum. And then there's all the other ones. Some have great uses, some don't. Some are real home runs that are coming, but most of these companies that are taking ICOs now are just nothing companies. Unless there's something behind them, something comes out of them. That's the other thing. You know, a lot of these ICOs are like, here's what we promised to do. Can they deliver when they get all this money from the ICO? I'm still loving the Vertasium coin. And you can get it on etherdelta.com. The funny thing is, the reason I think it's not trading on the larger exchanges yet is too many people would want it, and the exchanges don't have most of these. You know, they get a certain amount of a cryptocurrency, and then it's traded within that within the exchange. It's not really, those aren't blockchain transactions that are going on out there. So I think the larger exchanges are kind of scared of adding Vertasium because, you know, there's just not enough out there, which is really interesting. And so if you can figure out how to buy it on EtherDelta, go for it. Anyway, this is Big Square with your update this morning, your horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. Make sure you go to roadtoruta.com. I give out $30 in hard copy Ethereum right now that gets mailed to your front door. So if you're not computer savvy, you don't know what the hell's going on with all these cryptocurrencies, join the Road to Ruta and you'll get $30. Join the private road of Road to Ruta. It's $2.99 per year, and you get all the information at Road to Ruta, the Friday road trip, special reports, all kinds of stuff at roadtoruta.com. And you get the sneak peek behind the scenes at the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury and what they're doing to help the good guys make a smooth transition into a new system. Anyway, this is Big Square with your Road to Ruta Horn of Z's, your sip of coffee for the morning. And don't forget to thumbs up this video and share it with your friends. We'll talk to you later.